Jumping out of bed to a Friday. Good morning. Welcome to it. 9 o'clock. I'm Jen Lommers in this morning for Roxia.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
Controversy surrounding the Rose Parade this morning after a banner on one of the floats drew attention to the deadly Eaton fire. How officials and survivors are reacting to the stunt.
Plus, tensions escalate between the United States and Iran as President Trump issues warnings amid ongoing protests. We'll have those details.
And gone but never forgotten, Sprinkles Cupcakes is out of business, leaving many customers upset. But now the employees are coming forward with their take on the surprising news. But first, what's your favorite flavor cupcake?
Ooh, I'm going to say strawberry or red velvet. Yeah.
Oh, see, red velvet, you either love it or I feel like you don't.
Yeah, it's chocolate. It's like chocolate with food coloring, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see what it is. Yeah.
Hello. Let's take a look at some weather. This morning, we do have clouds passing across the region. Yes, we also have some wet weather to the south of LA. That wet weather could pop up here and there into our afternoon hours across the LA area. Still, we are left behind with a mix of sun and clouds, more clouds to get us through this Friday. Our temperature shooting for a high of 67 across the downtown LA area. That puts us really close to our averages. Moving over into our weekend, both Saturday as well as Sunday, we are looking at our highs in the lower 60s, but also that rain icon indicating that we do have another wet pattern ahead of us, and this is going to move in as early as tomorrow afternoon. As far as today goes, checking out along our coast, Laguna Beach, moving into our 9 o'clock hour right now, those temperatures starting to approach the 60-degree mark. As we move into this afternoon, we do top off in the 60s, and yes, we do have the clouds in place and maybe a spot chance for a shower or two moving in and across the area. Back to you.
All right, Star, thank you. So as she was mentioning, wet weather is heading our way, even as we're still mopping up from the last storm.
Just keeps coming. Rachel Aragon is live in Pasadena now with more on the trouble that was caused by the New Year's Day rain. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, Sandra, Jen, good morning. I hate to keep bringing this back up, but as we've said before, the rain is in fact coming back. But if you're curious what yesterday was like, the damage it caused, take a look here. This right here is a dramatic video of a rescue of a kid being pulled out of a truck, in fact, in rushing water. This right here, video happening in Hesperia on Orchard Avenue. It happened after two vehicles got stuck after trying to get through the water and some heavy mud. San Bernardino County firefighters fortunately were able to get everyone out safely. The San Fernando Valley was also hit hard yesterday by that heavy rainfall. Here's our Skyfox flying over the scene Thursday as firefighters responded to a mud flow at a home in Sherman Oaks after debris slid down from a construction site above the property. The mud, though, entering the home, prompting several people to evacuate. Rain also triggering flooding on the 5 freeway and in North Hollywood. Heavy rain causing flooding on the northbound of the 5 near Lankershim Boulevard, leaving multiple vehicles stuck. CHP saying at least one car was partially submerged there as well. But back here live in Pasadena, so far it's dry. I know it's going to probably change later on the day, if not tomorrow. But again, emergency management crews reminding folks to keep an eye out on some road closures and, of course, any flooding in your area. Pretty live in Pasadena this morning. I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Rachel, thank you. So this year's Rose Parade was met with some controversy after a banner calling for a state investigation into last year's wildfires briefly appeared during the parade.
Mario Ramirez joins us live in the studio with all the details on this. Mario?
Jen, Sandra, strong reactions. Some fire survivors saying this reflects frustration that they still feel a year later. Others worried the world stage of the Rose Parade wasn't the right place, fearing that it could impact donations and recovery efforts. That float, called Rising Together, you can see it here, featuring a phoenix rising from the ashes, meant to honor victims of last year's wildfires in Altadena, Pasadena, Malibu, and the Pacific Palisades. The handmade sign was held by two people riding on the float that read, AG Bonta, Altadena demands an investigation, calling on California Attorney General Rob Bonta to investigate independently the deadly Eaton fire in Altadena, a fire that destroyed thousands of homes and killed 19 people and remains under investigation. Meanwhile, next Wednesday marks 1 year since the wildfires, and this only highlights the frustration many are still feeling continuing into the new year.
The Attorney General has the power to investigate, whether it's public officials, whether it's charitable organizations. It's not an unreasonable request. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing far-fetched.
While we respect a person's need to make the statement, and everybody wants to get to the bottom of the answers of this issue, It was just not the right time. A big concern is donors backing away. And when the donors that are bringing hundreds of millions of dollars potentially to our people in need see that and they close the checkbook, that's hurting our population.
Well, the nonprofits who commissioned the float are weighing in this morning. They released a joint statement to Fox 11 that reads in part, the California Community Foundation and the Black Freedom Fund stand with the community and support the urgency of calls for accountability and justice. The signage they had displayed was not part of the float. Now, we can tell you a grassroots coalition called, I should say, Altadena for accountability has for months now been petitioning for the Attorney General to launch an independent investigation, arguing LA County reports failed to address what it calls key decision-making failures. Jen and Sandra.
All right, Maria, thank you. New this morning, tensions between the U.S. and Iran are rising as protests in the country have turned deadly. In a new social media post, President Trump warned the U.S. could intervene if Iranian forces, quote, violently kill peaceful protesters. The president says the U.S. is, quote, locked and loaded, and promising the U.S. would, quote, come to the rescue. A top Iranian security official responded, saying the U.S. and Israel are stoking the demonstrations, though he offered no evidence of that. At least 7 people have been killed in Iran's protests over the country's worsening economy.
Many FEMA employees are starting out the new year without jobs. They were notified on New Year's Eve via email that their positions would not be renewed. The impacted workers are part of FEMA's group of on-call response and recovery teams. Those are the people who are generally among the first boots on the ground during disasters. A FEMA spokesperson pointed out the positions are term limited and fluctuate based on disaster activity. But FEMA has almost always renewed those 2 to 4 year contracts. About 8,000 employees on those teams work full-time hours on temporary contracts. Sources say so far about 50 workers have received the termination emails.
There's a growing bipartisan push now to ban lawmakers from trading stocks. This all comes from concern that lawmakers could use insider information about legislation to boost their returns. A bill would extend the ban in many cases to family members. The effort is being led by Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna. Republicans point out that former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi traded tens of millions of dollars over a 3-year period. Her investments outperformed both the S&P 500 and Warren Buffett. However, Pelosi says she complies with the law. Now, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is asking why Republicans won't invest in the Democrats' trading ban bill, which reaches beyond Capitol Hill.
Why? Because it would also include prohibiting the president and the vice president of any party from engaging in stock trading while they're in office.
Back in 2012, Congress overwhelmingly passed the Stock Act, curbing some stock trades for lawmakers, but not all. Congress requires lawmakers to publicly disclose their holdings.
So what do the markets have in store for us in the next 12 months? Well, some financial experts say labor market weakness, uncertainty about inflation, and political pressure will push the Fed to lower rates aggressively this year, but it might not happen anytime soon. Next Federal Reserve policy meeting is January 28th, but right now the odds of a rate cut then are just 15%. The odds jump to about 46% for the March meeting, and it goes up to 58% for April. And coming up in May, President Trump is planning to replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The president wants that next chairman to back further rate cuts, so we'll see.
California is setting the tone, meantime, on artificial intelligence to keep users more safe. SB 53 is a new transparency law that will require major AI companies to publicly share safety practices and protect whistleblowers. Other new rules target AI chatbots, especially those interacting with kids, and require police agencies to publicly disclose how they use AI. Supporters say it's about accountability, but critics warn it could slow innovation. All right, 9:08 this morning, and coming up a new year, and next week will be a new season of The Masked Singer. We're going to show you a fun way they're promoting season 4.
Plus, the road parade may be over, but those floats, they're sticking around. How you could get an up-close look at the incredible designs and flowers behind the iconic parade. But first, a check of traffic.
Your Good Day LA traffic is brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorney. We do have an incident to report on. This is going to be some debris in the road. It is wood debris on the 60 westbound at Atlantic Boulevard, not causing many delays, but just something to note. Our traffic moving smooth across the southbound 55 freeway at the 405. Looking good. Our drive times this morning, the 10 west between the 5 to the 405, about a 15-minute drive time, and the 110 north between the 405 to the 10, just 12 minutes. Here's a look at more drive times.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DT LA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
The time is now 9:13 on your Friday morning. Your Good Day LA traffic, or excuse me, your weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino. We do have mostly dry conditions across Southern California, clouds in place, and even some light shower activity coming down south of LA. So across the Orange County region, moving in and across Temecula. So across that 15 freeway, the 215 freeway headed up towards Lakeland Village. Our king tides will be in place from now through our weekend. What are king tides, right? King tides are the highest of our high tides, but also the lowest of our low tides. We are expecting that our high tides will be in place during our morning hours and could reach anywhere from 7 to 7.5 feet during those times, stretching not just across the LA County beaches, but up and through Ventura County, all the way through Orange County. We are looking at the possibility of minor tidal overflow. This could lead to beach flooding, but also some of that beach erosion. We'll be watching for that. Note our low tides are typically in the afternoon, and with that low tide in place, something cool to note is if you are going to be out there braving the beaches this weekend, when that low tide is in place, it does allow you to walk a little bit further out into those beaches. Here's a look at our temperatures for today. We are shooting for 60s across the area, mid 60s across most of our coast. We're looking at Manhattan Beach, 65, 66 over into El Monte, Riverside, 66 for your Friday, and up in Thousand Oaks, 65 degrees. A quick check-in on our weekend forecast while we're talking about those king tides. Reminder that we do have wet weather that will arrive for us into tomorrow afternoon, and unfortunately the wet weather is sticking around for our Sunday as well, and we are shooting for 60-degree temperatures across the board. Back to you guys.
All right, Star, thank you. Well, today's good weather and the Rose Parade may be over, but those amazing floats are still around.
You really have to get out there. So Floatfest is in full swing, and Coco is live in Pasadena. She was just here, but now she's live in Pasadena, where people are getting an up-close look at all these beautiful creations. You have the sights and the smells, too. You say it smells good out there.
Hey there, Floatfest is one of my favorite events because you really get to literally smell the roses, and you get to see all the detail of the hard work that goes into each and every float. I'm so excited to show you the float from Cal Poly Universities. They're actually the sweepstakes winner. I am here with Amelia now from Cal Poly Pomona, also here with Aubrey from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Amelia, I'm going to start with you. Just your thoughts on winning the sweepstakes award.
Yeah, it's such a huge honor. It felt super out of reach for us. This is the first time we've ever won it in 77 years. And so just getting that phone call yesterday morning that we had won was such a surprise and such a special moment. And it's just a huge honor for all of our students. And we're so proud of the hundreds of students who helped us out on this float. And it's just truly an ode to all of their hard work and dedication that got us here today.
And you can see the hard work in the float. There's so much detail. Aubrey, I want you to talk about the theme and all the detail of the materials.
Yeah, so our story is called Jungle Jumpstart, and it's about an overgrown robot in the jungle who is brought back to life from its jungle friends, and they bring it back to life, bringing incorporations of the jungle into it. So you can see behind us how the monkey is giving a brand new wooden shoulder and all of that. And so basically we're celebrating the story of the harmony between nature and technology, which is what we do with our Rose Float program and also at our Cal Poly schools. And so this year, some fun things that we try to do, we're using more foam elements. We use a lot of pencil steel in our designs. And so with this, we were able to have these really amazing flowers on the float. And we were able to, they're fantasy flowers made out of foam. And we use a lot of our own materials that we grow. We grow some marigolds and statice, and we put these dried flowers on. But overall, we just like finding things in our community that we can put on the float to add the little details, such as like potatoes and berries.
Aubrey and Amelia, thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations to you both and all of the students that worked on this float to win the sweepstakes award. Because the cool thing is, this is a student-led project. So we're talking about hundreds of students working on this float and really doing it from the ground up, welding and the design. And it turned out so beautiful using really special materials as well. We want to show you some information on the screen right now about ticket information in case you want to come here to Floatfest. So it happens from 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock this afternoon today, and then tomorrow from 9 until 4. And if you do come to Floatfest, make sure to participate in the scavenger hunt. I think that's so cool. You pick up a little card at each float you visit so you can really make this all come to life. And look how cool it turns out. I'll send it back to you.
I love that.
Well, that's great.
They make it fun.
How nice. All right, go out there while you can before it gets wet, right? Before the rain comes. That sounds so good. Thank you, Coco. And if you go out there or if you're in the Pasadena area today, you can scoop up a special Rose Bowl Sundae at Salt and Straw's Pasadena shop. It's for a limited time, so today through Sunday, they're offering the sweet treat. And the sundae features chocolate pistachio milk and cookies ice cream with rose white chocolate sauce and rose glitter topped with fresh made waffle chips.
My gosh.
I know.
The decadence.
I want to try it.
I love myself some Salt and Straw. I will say that.
Ooh, their salted caramel.
Heck yeah.
So good.
It's in the name.
It's literally in the name.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. It's Friday, the first Friday of 2026. Hope you're doing something fun this weekend. Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. It is a new year and a great time to celebrate a new season of The Masked Singer right here on Fox.
Here we go. Oh, it's season 1's winner monster. What's up, dude?
Hey, it's Fox on Fox, season 2 winner. What's up, buddy?
Geez, you think we're gonna stop on every floor?
And they sure did. They gathered a baker's dozen of winners to take it on up until the 14th floor, the penthouse. Season 14 premieres next week, Wednesday, January 7th, right here on Fox. Jenny McCarthy, Ken Jeong, Robin Thicke, and Rita Ora are back to give it their best guess.
It's a fun show, and everybody can get involved, too. That's the best part.
It's always fun to guess. They give you the clues.
That's right.
And you feel this, like, validation when you get it right. You're like, I did it. I did it. I played, you know, when I went home for the holidays, I did Family Feud. My family likes watching Family Feud.
Oh.
And we watch it in my grandma's kitchen, and we all sit around the table, and we guess. Like, we do the Family Feud.
Right.
And we're like, why didn't you name this? But when you're in the moment, it's a fun game. So after a string of best-selling albums, I know you guys know about Kids Bop.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Kids Bop is coming to the big bop, the big screen, baby.
Wow.
I love when they take these chart-topping songs and make them kid-friendly.
Yes.
Kids Bop Live, the concert movie, is in theaters for a limited time this weekend. So, hey, if you want something fun to do with the family, that's the place to be. For those not familiar, the albums feature hit songs re-recorded by a group of kids, and any lyrics beyond PG get cleaned up for young ones. I love the way that they do this. It's fun.
Yeah.
Kids Bop released 51 albums, sold over 21 million albums, and had more than 4 billion streams. So, for example, there's the Bruno Mars song, and one of the lyrics is, stop, wait a minute, fill my cup, put some liquor in it. But for Kids Bop, it's stop, wait a minute, fill my cup, put some water in it.
Oh, I thought you would just say milk in it.
You know what?
Yeah.
Milk would have been good, but it would have been good in our generation. Nowadays, kids have milk allergies or lactose intolerant. There's dairy concerns.
Right. Water is a safe bet.
All the nut allergies.
Yeah, water is the safe bet.
I wonder what song they had to clean up the most. I'll have to do some digging.
Oh,
There's
anything
a lot.
like Cardi B or you know, anything like that.
Imagine.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Take a break.
I'm thinking of a certain.
I know.
I was just gonna say. Well, from kids bops to these bops, lots of great music was released in 2025. You have a favorite song?
There's so many.
I know.
Ooh, I actually like Diet Pepsi.
Me too.
Was that released this year?
Ray.
Addison Rae.
Oh. And I like the remix with Ben Platt on that.
Oh, yeah.
For the Las Chavistas Awards. But were there any songs that made you cringe, that made you want to just turn off the radio?
That's most songs for me.
The most annoying song of the year has been revealed. I don't know how we feel about this, but you let us know. It's bad news for Sabrina Carpenter.
This is a morning program.
That's Sugar Talkin', one of Sabrina Carpenter's songs that researchers at SeatPick say were one of 2 ranked the most annoying this year. Sugar Talkin' and Tears topped the list, which I find ironic because I feel like they weren't overplayed enough.
No, not at all.
Right. They chose the top most annoying songs using factors including repetition, harmony, dullness, and filler words like yeah and ooh. Lady Gaga's Dead Dance landed at number 3.
I don't really have any songs that got on my nerves. I just have like clips from TikTok that I hear that get on my nerves. Like, I'll give you a big example.
Give me one.
And with that, the 2025 season comes to an end. And by the way, it's not a season, it's a year.
Right.
So stop calling it a season.
Stop. Also, I don't need a recap. I was there.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm well aware.
I liked it a couple of years ago, and then I'm like, oh, this is going to be a thing now.
It's
Every
a thing.
year we're going to do this.
Also, I don't like starting sentences with and.
Yeah.
Right?
With the grammar of it all. And
That's
that.
Well, here's the thing. They take perfectly good songs like Ordinary, let's say, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or Magic.
Yes.
And then they play it too much, and then it becomes annoying. And then you don't like that song, but it's a great song.
It's the oversaturation of it all.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share one. I'm gonna share one. Oh, maybe I'm not. But when I hear that, I'm like done.
Oh yeah.
Can't do it.
No.
Can't do it. And every year.
We love you, me.
We love you,
over.
Be right back.
Season's over.
I've had enough. Can't do it.
All right, welcome to Good Day LA. It's 9:30 on this Friday. I'm Jen Lammers in for Waxia.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. The Rose Parade went off without a hitch for the most part. However, there was one float banner that some people are taking issue with, and we'll tell you why.
Plus, a confrontation leads to a deadly shooting involving an off-duty ICE agent. What we know about this active investigation.
And a new voice taking office and a message that's turning heads. What Zoran Mamdani has promised New York City he will do.
We are starting with a quick check-in on our weather. Dry conditions across most of the area for our Friday. We do have some light showers coming down across the area south of LA. So moving through Murrieta right now, that Orange County coastline, and some light sprinkles making their way into the Inland Empire. As we do push into this afternoon, we may see some spotty showers here or there, and then all of this again ahead of our real rainmaker that does arrive tomorrow. Temperature-wise, moving into the 10 o'clock hour in the next half hour or so, those temperatures for LA making their way into the 60s. We are expecting to top off in the mid to upper 60s across the area. Here is a futurecast, a simulation of our radar as to what is to arrive for us come later today. This is our 3 o'clock hour. We're moving into the afternoon. A chance for a shower or two moving across the region. As we make our way into Saturday, most of us starting off on the drier side. As we get into the early morning hours, those showers coming in, sliding from the west. So areas like Santa Barbara, Ventura, Oxnard, maybe seeing that rain chance first before we move into the afternoon. In LA, we are expecting for the chance for some widespread heavy at time shower activity from Saturday, moving all the way into our Sunday as well. Back to you.
All right, Star, thank you. A banner calling for accountability over last year's deadly Eaton fire made a brief appearance at this year's Rose Parade, all in front of a global audience.
Mario joins us live in studio now with the controversy. Good morning.
Yeah, that's right. Some fire victims say the investigation so far just isn't enough. A float meant to be a moment of healing and remembrance took a sharp turn on the world stage with tens of millions of people watching. The Rising Together float, you see it here, it featured a phoenix and was created to honor the 31 people killed in the Eaton and Palisades fires. Well, 2 people on that float were seen holding a sign that read, AG Bonta, Altadena demands an investigation, referring to California Attorney General Rob Bonta, appearing to call for an independent investigation into the cause of the Eaton fire. Suddenly, someone wearing a raincoat pulls the banner down as the float continues forward. The cause of the fire remains under investigation, with multiple lawsuits pointing to the possible involvement of high-tension power lines operated by SoCal Edison. That moment you saw there sparking a debate over accountability, freedom of expression, and whether the Rose Parade was the right place for that message.
It's a call for accountability and answers, and I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think that's offensive. And in fact, silencing that voice, silencing that request, I think is what is offensive and outrageous.
We were there on camera in front of hundreds of thousands of people and feeling a connection and the support for our community. And then someone interjected a political statement. While we respect a person's need to make the statement, and everybody wants to get to the bottom of the answers of this issue, it was just not the right time.
Now, the nonprofits who commissioned the floater weighing in this morning, they released a joint statement to Fox 11 that reads in part, the California Community Foundation and the Black Freedom Fund stand with the community and support the urgency of calls for accountability and justice. They add the signage displayed was not part of the float. Now, those groups went on to say the float was created to remember the resilience of fire victims and remember those who were lost. Next Wednesday marks 1 year since the deadly fires broke out, with those impacted still pushing for more answers. Jen and Sandra.
All right, Mario, thank you. An off-duty ICE agent shoots and kills an armed man who was allegedly firing an assault rifle into the air. It happened Wednesday night, and Fox 11's Nick Garcia has the latest from the LAPD.
Armed with an AR-15 rifle, possibly suffering from a gunshot wound by the PR.
The Los Angeles Police Department confirms a man was firing shots from a rifle into the air at an apartment complex off Roscoe Boulevard in Northridge New Year's Eve.
It was like a lot of shots. It was more than 10 shots. It was orange shot. And we got scared, but I thought it was something, you know, like fireworks.
LAPD says a neighbor who happened to be an off-duty Homeland Security agent confronted the suspect, then shot him.
He's a Homeland Security agent, currently waiting his work attire.
The man died at the scene, and no one was arrested. While this agent was off duty, there have been several recent incidents involving use of force by DHS. Just days ago, a federal judge dismissed charges against TikTok creator Carlitos Richard Parias. During an October immigration enforcement stop in South LA, DHS said Parias assaulted federal officers by ramming his car into theirs. Agents shot him in the elbow. The judge says the government has failed to release body camera footage and violated the defendant's right to counsel. Also in October, ICE agents shot a man in Ontario as he tried to intervene in immigration enforcement action. Back in Northridge, neighbors brought in the new year on edge.
It's scary. Well, you know, I was telling my kids I just don't want to go home because I'm a little bit nervous, but everybody's scared on my own because we didn't know that you know, this was going to happen here.
In Northridge, I'm Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
We received this statement from the Department of Homeland Security. It reads, quote, an off-duty ICE officer bravely responded to an active shooter situation at his apartment complex. In order to protect his life and that of others, he was forced to defensively use his weapon and exchanged gunfire with the shooter. Our officer immediately called the LAPD.
Meantime, President Trump says he is pulling National Guard troops out of 3 major cities. In a social media post, the president said his administration was removing the National Guard from Los Angeles, Portland, and Chicago, but adding that federal forces will come back if crime rates go up. The president made the announcement shortly before a federal appellate court ruled the Trump administration must return hundreds of California National Guard troops to Governor Newsom's control. The National Guard is still deployed in Washington, D.C., New Orleans, and Memphis.
Now to a potential peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky remains positive during his New Year's Day address. He said the peace plan was, quote, 90% ready. A land dispute over the border remains a key issue here. Zelensky noted a referendum would be needed on any peace plan involving Ukrainian troops to pull back from the eastern Donbas region. Russia maintains it wants full control of that region and that area. The next meeting between Zelensky and international leaders is scheduled for next Tuesday in France.
Russia is now asking the U.S. to stop pursuing an oil tanker that was sailing for Venezuela. The New York Times reports the ship has claimed the protection of Russia and has radioed the Coast Guard to say they are sailing under Russian authority. The request comes as President Trump tries to negotiate a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. It could end up presenting a new hurdle, though, in those negotiations.
Meantime, Venezuela says it's ready to talk with the United States about finding ways to combat drug trafficking. The South American country's president, Nicolas Maduro, made his remarks during a pre-recorded interview on state television. But Maduro refused to talk about a CIA-led strike at a Venezuelan port that the Trump administration believed was used by drug cartels. The controversial leader also encouraged the U.S. to invest in Venezuelan oil. Chevron is the only major oil company exporting Venezuelan oil to the United States.
Will Smith is facing a lawsuit now from a former tour violinist who performed on his A True Story tour. So the musician claims he was wrongfully terminated and sexually harassed after reporting inappropriate items left in his hotel room. The suit also alleges Smith groomed him for sexual exploitation. No comment has been made by Smith or his management.
New York City is starting off the new year with a new mayor.
The mayor of the city of New York.
The mayor of the city of New York.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Zohran Mamdani was sworn in just after midnight in New York City's historic and long-closed City Hall subway station. The Socialist Democrat is the city's first Muslim mayor and took his oath with his hand on the Quran. Later in the day, Mamdani was sworn in for a second time by Senator Bernie Sanders at a public inauguration. Mamdani promised to win over his political adversaries.
I know there are some who view this administration with distrust or disdain, or who see politics as permanently broken. And while only action can change minds, I promise you this: if you are a New Yorker, I am your mayor. We will do something that New Yorkers do better than anyone else. We will set an example for the world.
U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also spoke at the inauguration, saying Mamdani would make a mayor dedicated to the working class.
Several COVID-era subsidies are now expiring, meaning health care premiums will spike for at least 22 million Americans. This comes after Congress failed to reach a deal. The average increase will be about 114%. The tax credits, which were initially part of the Affordable Care Act passed during the Obama administration and then enhanced during the pandemic, helped reduce the cost of monthly premiums, with eligibility determined by factors like household income and location. Now Democrats worry the expiring subsidies will cause people to drop coverage altogether, and that will drive up costs for everybody.
I'm doing a lot of math, seeing what I can move around and how long that's actually going to be sustainable. I don't go to the doctor that much, so it may be a situation where if it gets to a certain point, I just go without.
Some people having to make some tough decisions here. Congress goes back to work, meantime, in 4 days. Lawmakers are expected to vote on a Democrat-led bill that would extend the tax credits by 3 years. If both sides cannot make a deal, the government is set to run out of money and shut down at the end of the month.
Looking to remodel your kitchen? Well, President Trump is pushing back a planned tariff hike on cabinet and furniture to next year, keeping rates at 25% for now. Previously, the administration had planned to impose a 30% tariff on upholstered furniture and 50% tariff on kitchen cabinets and vanities. The White House says that has been delayed 1 year to give more time for trade talks. But critics argue previous Trump tariffs have already raised prices enough, especially on imports from China and Vietnam. Meantime, some good news for Americans who like pasta made in Italy. Italy's foreign ministry says the United States has decided not to follow through on proposed tariffs on Italian-made pasta. The Commerce Department has sharply reduced a proposed duty on 13 Italian pasta makers. The import tax has been slashed from as high as 92% to as little as 2.25%.
Give me all the pomodoro. Okay, not so sweet news, though, for Sprinkles Cupcakes. The nationwide chain closed all of its stores on Wednesday after 20 years in business. The end of an era for sure. Founder Candace Nelson confirming the news on social media. She created the brand back in 2005 right here in California, but sold it off to a private equity firm in 2012. So now former employees are sounding off on social media about how they were disrespected and given only 24 hours notice that the New Year's Eve would be their last day with the company. Even employees who've worked there for years. To make matters worse, once word got out stores were closing, all the stores were flooded with last-minute orders, so their final shift, according to one former employee, was the worst of their life.
Oh.
The chain was best known for its cupcake vending machines.
Wow. Sweet treat for sure.
I know.
All right, coming up, did you know you could get an up-close look at the Rose Parade floats, and Coco showing us how.
Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Pasadena following a rainy Rose Parade, which makes it a great day for Floatfest. You get to really check out the floats up close and personal. We'll take you here live coming up.
The time is now 9:46 on your Friday morning. We are tracking a soon-to-be rain event across the Southern California area. We do have a system that is currently offshore due to make its way from the north and bring in some wet weather as early as this weekend. As of right now, most of us moving under dry conditions. We do have some clouds overhead, and yes, the chance for a spot shower or two moving into this afternoon. Currently up towards areas south of LA, so Orange County, but also across some of our low deserts, we do have some light rain activity making its way into the area. As of this afternoon, we do show those numbers going up on our rain scale, and then as tonight approaches overnight and into tomorrow, maybe some rain activity making its way into the area ahead of the bigger rain event moving into tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look at our temperatures right now. 60 in Santa Monica, 59 in Long Beach. Good morning down in San Pedro, 61 degrees in Diamond Bar. You are at 56 degrees right now. Winds across the LA basin moving at about 5 to 12 miles per hour. So on the calmer side, we do have wind advisories effective from 1 p.m. today through tomorrow at about 6 p.m. across the Santa Barbara counties, but also portions of San Luis Obispo. Not the case for LA. Temperatures today will manage in the 60s for most of us. Come this afternoon, Lancaster, Palmdale holding in the 50s. Up towards Frazier Park, we'll have some 40s and also 40s across our mountains. Big Bear at 48 degrees. Here's a check-in at our weekend. That rain is expected to be widespread through tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures 60s across the board from Saturday into Sunday. And Sandra, the rain will hold for our Sunday as well. Back to you.
All right, Star, thank you. So the Rose Parade, of course, may be over, but those amazing floats are still around at Floatfest. It's full swing right now. Coco McAvoy live in Pasadena, where people are getting an up-close look at these creations. Coco?
Hey there, it is a beautiful day for Floatfest, and you really get that opportunity to look at the floats up close and personal. The cool thing about the UPS float for me is the fact that I saw it when it was really in its beginning stages. It was at the warehouse for Artistic Entertainment Services, and now I get to see it with the flowers on. It's beautiful. I am here with Jackie Liu now from Artistic Entertainment Services. So tell us about the theme for this float that won the Director Trophy.
Yes, so it's sharing skills for success, right? That's how you build a successful team. It won the Director Trophy for most outstanding artistic design and also floral and non-floral materials. So it's simply stunning. You have to see it in person, and that's what makes Floatfest so wonderful, because everybody has a chance to see it in person.
Yes, and big year for Artistic Entertainment Services, right? Lots of awards.
Yes, we won 6 awards out of the 16 floats that we built, 13 that are eligible for awards. Yes.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Jackie. And something that's really cool about Floatfest, you get to meet so many great people, including Tara here, who is originally from Indiana. Go Hoosiers. Talk about what it means to you to be here and what you like so far about it.
I'm very excited to be here. I'm here with my husband. We're from Indiana. We won yesterday, so the game was very exciting. But I was also excited to attend the parade prior to the game. We set up close. We were able to see everything, enjoy all of the entertainment, and I love flowers. So I am very excited to be here today to be able to see all of the floats up close.
Yes. Okay. And so you're used to rain, but what was it like yesterday in the rain?
I don't know. I enjoyed it. I didn't care that it was raining because I was so excited to be there in the moment. But I was covered from head to toe. I was very soaked afterwards. But again, that didn't matter because I had such a wonderful day.
Love that. Thank you so much, Tara. And congrats to your husband as well. We want to say thank him for his service, too. Thank you for coming out here. And, you know, I just love Tara's enthusiasm. I got to tell you, when I was at the Rose Parade yesterday, I encountered so many people saying the same thing, that the rain didn't bother them because they were just so happy to be at the Rose Parade. You get to see the beautiful flowers up close and personal. And honestly, I think the rain made it even more beautiful because it really made those colors of the flowers pop. So Floatfest is happening today. Take a look at your screen right now so you can see the information on how to get tickets. It's going to run today starting at 9 o'clock until 5. And then tomorrow, if you miss it today, you can come starting at 9 up until 4 o'clock. So many beautiful floats and beautiful people. I'll send it back to you.
You were one of those beautiful people out there, layered up with your poncho. I know you were drenched, you and Armando. But
I was drenched, yes.
It was beautiful. Yeah, everyone had a great time despite the rain. Thank you, Coco. So from big performances to meaningful moments of gratitude, the Rose Parade celebrated teamwork, service, and community. And if you missed the Rose Parade live yesterday, we got you covered. Take a look at some of the moments that stood out.
2, 3. Well, here we go. Happy New Year. I'm Christine Devine here with Bob DeCastro. We want to welcome you to our Rose Parade coverage.
Happy New Year, everybody. We're live from Pasadena.
Singing, we will rock you. All right. We will rock you.
An electric start to the Tournament of Roses Parade.
It was pouring this morning. We are ready to go with the parade, though.
I think these parade participants are used to any kind of weather, right? There's mini therapy horses from Calabasas.
I'm guessing they might be a fan favorite. They're just
for sure. They're adorable.
Just adorable.
Here's a fun fact, though. They do tricks. They can smile, high five, play the keyboard. What? The theme of this year's Rose Parade is the magic of teamwork.
Little did I know I'm a champion. I'm a champion.
The Homewood Patriot Band from Homewood, Alabama. From the city of South Pasadena, the residents donated bark, amber leaves, and bougainvillea flowers to put onto this float. LAUSD All-District High School Honor Band. This is our hometown band here.
Hi-ho, it's your old pal Kermit the Frog, and I am thrilled to introduce Mississippi's Charlie Worship. Moving right along, footloose and fancy free.
Another winner here is the Sweepstakes Award from Cal Poly University.
So you have a 40-foot robot. The parrot is 25 feet in the air. That is spectacular. That's why they won the Sweepstakes Award. That is really beautiful.
Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou.
Look at the animals. This is the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. Look at that. That is really cool. Well, they have real waterfalls and water spraying out of the trunks of the elephants there.
Our next float is boldly going where no float has gone before. It's Star Trek 60 with the theme Space for Everybody. And, of course,
some famous faces. That's George Takei right there. Hey, George. That's so cool. All right, right here, the Arcadia Apache Marching Band in color guard.
This is Shrinking. Do you watch the show?
I have watched the show, yes.
So this is one of the reasons the Shrinking is actually, a lot of it is shot in Pasadena. The Salvation Army Tournament of Roses Band.
La Cañada Flint Ridge, not too far from here in Pasadena. The flowers arrived on Sunday from Central and South America. Here we go, Food for Health, showing how teamwork helps feed a community. This program served over 75,000 free hot meals after the LA wildfire.
The theme of this year's parade is the magic in teamwork, and really it took a huge team to bring this all together for you. Happy New Year to you all. I'm Bob DeCastro.
And I'm Christine Devine. Thanks for being with us, and yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. It was such a beautiful parade, and as you saw right there, the rain didn't dampen everyone's spirits. Everyone had such a good time, and those floats were magical. All right, coming up next at 10, the latest on the big earthquake, unfortunately, in Mexico this morning. See how the president reacted when it interrupted her first news conference of the year. Plus a warning from an environmental group that finds 2025 was one of the hottest years on record. Why they say we should brace for more deadly weather ahead. And Venus Williams has won 7 Grand Slam titles, but she is now on the hunt for the one elusive title she still wants. Why she's set to make history at the Australian Open. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at 10 o'clock. Here are some of the stories we're following for you.
The Rose Parade, not known for controversy, but one flared up this year. A banner calling for a state investigation into the deadly Eaton fire made an appearance, and how officials and survivors are reacting to the stunt coming up.
And rain this week, leading both to flooding as well as some mudslides. We're live this morning in Pasadena with what you need to know with the rain coming back our way.
That rain headed our way both Saturday as well as Sunday. It is on its way. It'll be moving in from the north and bringing in the potential for several inches of rain across Southern California.
And Santa Anita introducing Free Fridays. And it's not just entrance to the track that's free. We have details on that just ahead.
All right, this year's Rose Parade was met with a little controversy after a banner calling for a state investigation into last year's wildfires briefly appeared on a float.
It was quickly taken down, but the message was clear. Mario Ramirez joins us live in studio with the reaction. Good morning.
Jen, Sandra, good morning. Almost a year after losing everything, some fire survivors are still demanding answers and took that message to the Rose Parade, but others worry the parade was not the right place, fearing it could impact donations and recovery efforts. Take a look. The float, called Rising Together, features a phoenix rising from the ashes, meant to honor victims of last year's wildfires in Pasadena, Malibu, and the Pacific Palisades. That handmade sign was held by two people riding on the float filled with fire survivors that read, "A.G. Bonta, Altadena demands an investigation." The message calling on California Attorney General Rob Bonta to investigate the deadly Eaton fire in Altadena that destroyed thousands of homes and killed 19 people and remains under investigation. Meanwhile, next Wednesday marks 1 year since the wildfires, and this moment highlights the frustration that lingers into the new year.
The Attorney General has the power to investigate, whether it's public officials, whether it's charitable organizations. It's not an unreasonable request. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing far-fetched.
While we respect a person's need to make the statement, and everybody wants to get to the bottom of the answers of this issue, it was just not the right time. A big concern is donors backing away. And when the donors that are bringing hundreds of millions of dollars potentially to our people in need see that and they close the checkbook, that's hurting our population.
As for the nonprofits who commissioned the float, well, they're weighing in this morning. They released a joint statement to Fox 11. That statement reads in part, the California Community Foundation and the Black Freedom Fund stand with the community and support the urgency of calls for accountability and justice. They add the signage displayed was not part of the float. Now, a grassroots coalition called Altadena for Accountability has been petitioning for months now for the Attorney General to launch an independent investigation into the fire, arguing that county reports fail to address what it calls key decision-making failures. Jen and Sandra.
All right, Mario, thank you. So more wet weather is heading our direction as we're still trying to clean up from the last round of storms.
That's right. So Rachel Aragon is live in Altadena with more on some of the trouble and the mess left behind by yesterday's rain. Rachel?
Yeah, this rain seems to be never ending at that. We know that yesterday rained pretty hard and actually left a pretty lingering impact and some damage in certain areas as well. Take a look here at this video. This is dramatic video from earlier yesterday, we know in Hesperia, where a child was being pulled out by firefighters from a truck in rushing waters. This happened, by the way, after two vehicles got stuck after trying to get through the water and mud. Well, San Bernardino County firefighters, fortunately, were able to get everyone out safely. Switching over to the San Fernando Valley, which also got hit pretty hard yesterday by the downpour. Our own Sky Fox flew over this scene Thursday as firefighters responded to a mud flow at a home in Sherman Oaks after debris slid down from a construction site above the property. The mud, though, entered the home, prompting several people to evacuate. Well, rain, as we've seen before, also triggering some flooding on the 5 freeway and in North Hollywood there. Heavy rain causing flooding on the northbound of the 5 near Lankershim Boulevard, leaving multiple vehicles stuck. CHP says at least one car was partially submerged. Back here live in Altadena, it is still dry right now as I speak, but we know the rain is coming. Again, emergency crews also just reminding folks this weekend to watch for any road closures and, of course, any flooding in your area. Pretty live in Altadena this morning. I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
Rachel, thank you. And speaking of flooding, a tragic end to a water rescue attempt in Orange County. Fire rescue crews were called to the scene off Harbor Boulevard in Fountain Valley yesterday afternoon. A 911 caller reported hearing a person in the Santa Ana River yelling for help. Unfortunately, when crews got to the scene, they were too late. They found a woman's body 2 miles downriver. She has not yet been identified.
New this morning, a strong earthquake rattles central and southern Mexico. The 6.5 quake was centered near the Pacific Coast resort of Acapulco. So far, there are no reports of any damage or injuries. It did interrupt, though, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum's first press briefing of the year.
Lunes o martes. Uy, está temblando. A ver, con tranquilidad. ¿Dónde está?
Hear the sirens going off there. Sheinbaum later finished her press briefing. The quake was followed by several aftershocks as well. The largest so far, clocking in at a magnitude 4.2. Again, there are no reports of any damage or injuries.
The daughter of actor Tommy Lee Jones has been found dead inside of a San Francisco hotel room. TMZ reporting Jones's 34-year-old daughter Victoria was found dead in a room yesterday morning. San Francisco police did not release any information on the woman's identity or the cause of death. Victoria Jones made brief on-screen appearances, including Men in Black 2 and a role on One Tree Hill in 2003.
The software error means 325,000 Californians must replace their Real ID licenses. The DMV says the issue affects about 1.5% of Real ID holders, mostly legal immigrants, due to mismatched expiration dates. Impacted individuals will be notified soon, and reissue fees will be waived. The problem stems from outdated coding dating back to 2006. Officials stress that nearly 99% of Real ID holders are unaffected, and all IDs were issued after verifying lawful presence.
The DMV is extending its cancellation date of about 17,000 trucker licenses until March 6th. The extension comes as California tries to resolve concerns surrounding the DMV's licensing process. The update comes just days after a lawsuit filed asking a judge to halt the cancellation of thousands of immigrant truck drivers' licenses.
10:07, let's get over to Star for checking our forecast.
We're waking up this morning with clouds in place and maybe some light precipitation coming down here, showing on our radar across Orange County, moving through Irvine and over into the Inland Empire. We do have some drizzle showing up across some of the area. You'll see that here on our planner for Riverside, moving into the 10 a.m. hour right now. We do have some light activity popping up, and those showers popping off here and there could last into our afternoon and even through our afternoon. We are looking at mostly cloudy skies here through the remainder of our Friday, with our temperatures jumping into the upper 60s for your highs. As far as our mountains go, started off chilly this morning, a lot of you sub-freezing, but as we move into our lunchtime hour, those temperatures will jump into the 40s for you. You'll also have those partly cloudy situations, and we do have some of our mountains getting into this weekend where we'll have some wintry precip moving in and across the region. As far as the rest of us, LA included, we are expecting to have more widespread rain arrive for us tomorrow afternoon. That widespread chance of rain will push into our Sunday as well. Now, we are talking light to moderate at best, but then we will have some of those more heavy downpours moving through across some of the area as well. Moving into next week, we are tracking more moisture both Monday as well as Tuesday, and then our next disturbance likely to have some of that energy lingering into the middle of next week. Now, this model here being very generous from later this weekend stretching into next week. We should see some of our coastline, but also our interior sections pick up anywhere from 1 to about 3 inches, and we will see more rainfall across our mountains, but also some of our foothills accumulating as much as 3 to 6 inches. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. LA, but also the inland Orange County area, 30% chance of rain in the forecast for this afternoon. More widespread rain chances this weekend, both Saturday as well as Sunday, with temperatures in the 60s. Those 60-degree temperatures will also move into next week, so slightly below their averages. And as you can see, the rain chances not really letting up until we reach the middle and ending of next week. Back to you.
Star, thank you. Swiss investigators say they think sparkler-type flares on top of champagne bottles ignited the deadly fire at a ski resort bar that killed at least 40 and injured 119 others. Witnesses described the panic, with freezing temperatures only adding to the chaos. Fox's Stephanie Bennett has more.
Yeah, I mean, many gory scenes.
The new year starting with a major tragedy for a small resort town in Switzerland. Dozens were killed and more than 100 others injured after a fire tore through a bar hosting a New Year's Eve party. It happened in the town of Crans, Montana, deep in the Swiss Alps, just 25 miles north of the Matterhorn.
Very quickly, the red alert, which mobilizes all firefighters in the region, was activated, and the first responders immediately rushed to the scene.
Officials say after the fire started moving through the bar, it caused an explosion when it reached gas lines or tanks in the kitchen area. It's not clear how it started, but police say there's no indication it was a terror attack or that the fire was set deliberately.
The theory of an explosion due to an attack can likely be ruled out. Defining and specifying the causes and circumstances of this tragic event is too premature to do today.
Witnesses describe a chaotic scene as the fire quickly engulfed the building, while first responders and bystanders worked to get the victims outside.
But the main, I think, problem was the temperature shock from the heat inside to the cold outside. So one of the priorities was to get everyone warm.
Local officials say the community is, quote, devastated by the tragedy, and no expense will be spared as the recovery process begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot hide it from you. We are shaken by what happened last night.
Medical resources in the area are already overwhelmed. Officials are asking locals to show caution in the coming days. In London, Stephanie Bennett, Fox News.
In Iran, protesters are in the streets for a sixth straight day. The demonstrations are a result of an economic crisis sparked by a record currency fall against the U.S. dollar. Experts say a 40% inflation rate led to widespread discontent. Many traders and shopkeepers closed their businesses Sunday and took to the streets of Tehran and other cities to protest. The governor of Iran's central bank resigned Monday, but that has not quelled the protests. International reports say at least 7 people, including protesters and members of Iran's security services, have been killed during clashes.
Meantime, President Trump addressed the protests on his social media platform, Truth Social, writing that if Iran shoots and kills peaceful protesters, the U.S. will, quote, come to their rescue, and that the U.S. was, quote, locked in and ready to go. Senior Iran officials fired back at the president, saying the U.S. intervention might spark chaos in the region, and accused the U.S. and Israel of stoking demonstrations. An advisor to the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, warned, quote, any interventionist hand that gets too close to the security of Iran will be cut.
President Volodymyr Zelensky has appointed the head of Ukraine's military intelligence as his new chief of staff, a move that comes as the U.S. leads a diplomatic push to end Russia's nearly 4-year-old invasion. Meanwhile, Ukraine and Russia continue exchanging attacks in the new year. Today, Ukrainian authorities say a shopping mall and residential building were heavily damaged in an overnight drone attack by Russian forces. 19 people were hurt, including a 6-month-old child. Meanwhile, the death toll has risen to 27 in a Ukrainian drone strike on Russian-occupied territory New Year's Eve. A military spokesperson in Kyiv strongly denied attacking civilian targets and accused Russia of making false statements to disrupt the ongoing peace talks.
President Trump is pushing back a planned tariff hike on cabinets and furniture to 2027. That will keep rates at 25% for now. The White House says this gives more time for trade talks, but critics argue previous Trump tariffs have already raised prices enough, especially on imports from China and Vietnam.
And while we're talking about the kitchen, good news for people who like their pasta made in Italy. The U.S. has drastically reduced proposed tariffs on Italian-made pasta, cutting rates from as high as 92% to just over 2%. The move is expected to spare shoppers from huge price increases while keeping Italian favorites on U.S. shelves.
You know, forget tariffs and taxes and all things that cost money, because we are going to talk free. Santa Anita Racetrack is introducing Free Fridays. Not only is admission free, so is parking. Ooh! The park is going for what it calls happy hour vibes all day long with half-price beer and cocktails. Of course, setting up to that betting window is still going to cost you, so good luck if you're playing the ponies.
That's right. All right. Well, a puppy is not only rescued from certain death in Gardena, it now has a new home.
And there's some of the cutest workers on Uncle Sam's payroll. How you can get your very own copy of the TSA's Canine Calendar for free. And you're looking live right now at the pier at Santa Monica. You know, today might be the day to go down there because we have some rain in our forecast for all weekend long. We'll have more on that when we come back. Back, New York City is starting the new year with a new mayor.
Mayor of the City of New York.
The Mayor of the City of New York.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Zoran Mamdani was sworn in just after midnight in New York City's historic and long-closed City Hall subway station. The Socialist Democrat is the city's first Muslim mayor and took his oath with his hand on a Quran. Later in the day, Mamdani was sworn in for a second time by Senator Bernie Sanders at a public inauguration. Mamdani promised to win over his political adversaries.
I know there are some who view this administration with distrust or disdain, or who see politics as permanently broken. And while only action can change minds, I promise you this: if you are a New Yorker, I am your mayor. We will do something that New Yorkers do better than anyone else. We will set an example for the world.
A meteoric rise for him. U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez also spoke at the inauguration, saying Mamdani would be a mayor dedicated to the working class.
An off-duty ICE agent shoots and kills an armed man who was allegedly firing an assault rifle into the air. This happened Wednesday night, and Fox 11's Nick Garcia has the latest from the LAPD.
Armed with an AR-15 rifle, possibly suffering from a gunshot wound by the PR.
The Los Angeles Police Department confirms a man was firing shots from a rifle into the air at an apartment complex off Roscoe Boulevard in Northridge New Year's Eve.
It was like a lot of shots. It was more than 10 shots. It was orange shot. And we got scared, but I thought it was something, you know, like fireworks.
LAPD says a neighbor who happened to be an off-duty Homeland Security agent confronted the suspect, then shot him.
He is a Homeland Security agent, currently waiting his work attire.
The man died at the scene, and no one was arrested. While this agent was off-duty, there have been several recent incidents involving use of force by DHS. Just days ago, a federal judge dismissed charges against TikTok creator Carlitos Richard Parias. During an October immigration enforcement stop in South LA, DHS said Parias assaulted federal officers by ramming his car into theirs. Agents shot him in the elbow. The judge says the government has failed to release body camera footage and violated the defendant's right to counsel. Also in October, ICE agents shot a man in Ontario as he tried to intervene in immigration enforcement action. Back in Northridge, neighbors brought in the new year on edge.
It's scary. Well, you know, I was telling my kids I just don't want to go home because I'm a little bit nervous, but everybody's scared on my house because we didn't know that you know, this was going to happen here.
In Northridge, I'm Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
We received this statement from the Department of Homeland Security. An off-duty ICE officer bravely responded to an active shooter situation at his apartment complex. In order to protect his and the life of others, he was forced to defensively use his weapon and exchanged gunfire with the shooter. Our officer immediately contacted the LAPD.
Meantime, the DHS, which oversees the Federal Emergency Management Agency, is slashing jobs and firing dozens of frontline responders. About 50 FEMA workers were notified on New Year's Eve via email that their positions would not be renewed. The impacted workers are the people who are generally among the first federal boots on the ground during disasters. A FEMA spokesperson defended the move, saying the contract positions are term limited and fluctuate based on disaster activity. Those contract employees make up about 40% of FEMA's workforce. It's not clear yet what will happen to others whose contract expire in 2026.
Affordable Care Act subsidies have now expired, sending health insurance premiums skyrocketing for millions of Americans. Democrats forced a 43-day government shutdown over the issue, but Congress failed to reach a deal to extend the subsidies before leaving D.C. for the holidays. More than 20 million Americans will see their health care premiums skyrocket by 114%, according to expert analysis. A bipartisan group of senators is working behind the scenes on a potential fix for when legislators return to Capitol Hill next week.
Well, a puppy rescued from a trash compactor in Gardena now has a loving home. Happy ending for him. A police officer found the 1-year-old terrier mix abandoned in a trash can outside of a church during the holidays. After getting care at SPCA LA South Bay, Flan's story took a sweet turn. On Christmas Eve, the same officer who rescued him returned with his family to adopt him.
Aww,
yeah, the family has since named him Norm because he was found on Normandy Avenue.
Oh, what a great
Hey,
story.
Norm.
So cute.
Little cutie.
All right, some of TSA's cutest workers are featured in a new calendar. Explosive detection dogs, including Steeler, a 3-year-old Labrador from Pittsburgh International Airport. He was last year's cutest canine contest winner. The TSA trains about 300 dogs annually to work at airports, rail station, and ports. The calendar is free to download at tsa.gov.
Very cute. All right, 10:23, and coming up, how Venus Williams will make history when she takes the court this year at the Australian Open.
Can't wait to see that. And Coco is at the Floatfest in Pasadena.
Good morning. When you come to Floatfest, of course, you're going to see beautiful floats, but you're also going to see great entertainment and food options. We'll take you here live coming up.
Our top stories this morning: the Rose Parade is not known for its controversy, but one flared up this year. A banner calling for a state investigation into the deadly Eaton fire showed up on one of the floats. While being sympathetic to their loss, some officials said it was not the right time or place for a political statement. Meantime, a strong earthquake rattles central and southern Mexico. The 6.5 quake was centered near Pacific Coast Resort of Acapulco. So far, there are no reports of any damage or injuries. And more wet weather is coming our direction as we're still trying to clean up from the last round of storms. Authorities are keeping a close eye on those burn scar areas for possible mud and debris flows. They also want to remind people not to try crossing flooded intersections. For more on this, let's go over to Star.
Yes, and we are tracking that wet weather as early as this weekend. Now, most of us under dry conditions here for our Friday morning, but we do have some light precipitation showing up for areas south of LA. So Long Beach starting to see some of that wet weather, also through and across portions of Irvine and the low deserts as well. We do have a wind advisory off to the west of LA, Santa Barbara counties, but also through San Luis Obispo. This wind advisory will go into effect this afternoon at the 1 o'clock hour, and it will remain in place until tomorrow evening at about 6 p.m. We are looking at a south wind kicking up 20 to 30 miles per hour, but we may also see some gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour at times. Now, locally, that advisory not in place. LA, our winds are again calm this morning, 5 to about 7 miles per hour across the area. And here's a look at those gusts picking up tonight. We may still see them hanging around some of our foothills, but also across some of our mountains, and they will be pretty active through at least tomorrow evening, or pushing into the late afternoon, I can say. Here's a look at our futurecast. It is again a simulation of our radar, so what's to come as we do get into this afternoon. I did forecast about a 30% chance of some spot showers moving in and through the area this afternoon, and likely in place for some of us into the early morning hours. It's what's ahead of us that we will have to brace ourselves for. Another big rainmaker due to arrive for the LA area as we do get into tomorrow afternoon. This is a look at our 1 o'clock hour, where we're not just tracking the greens, we do have some yellows, orange, red popping up there. Just indication that we could have some heavy downpours at times, and the rain will be sticking around for a majority of our Saturday and then also into our Sunday as well. We are tracking that the rain is not expected to let up. A little bit of a disturbance is going to make its way into next week as well. We are talking Monday and Tuesday and possibly lingering into portions of our Wednesday before we begin to dry out. So if you're going to be outdoors today, note that today is the better day to get anything done before the weekend arrives, and we are dealing with back-to-back days of wet weather. Back to you.
All right, Star, thank you. Now to this, Democrats have a clear resolution heading into the new year, taking back the House. The control of Congress will be up for grabs in those 2026 midterms, and Doug Luzader has more now from Washington.
The House will be in order. The U.S. Congress could look a lot different based on what happens in 2026. Democrats say they're ready.
It was always propaganda that somehow we were on the run, knocked out on the canvas and unable to recover.
And Democrats point to big wins in Virginia and New Jersey gubernatorial elections in 2025, arguing they are well positioned to take back the House.
Let's go to North Carolina. We want to go to North Carolina.
President Trump is already making rounds of swing states, framing arguments for November as Republicans hope to buck the trend that the party in power usually loses seats in midterms.
Your drugs are coming down at levels that nobody ever thought was possible. This achievement alone should win us the midterms.
And then there is the White House itself. 2028 may seem like a long way off, but the jockeying has begun.
We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48.
Vice President J.D. Vance scored an early endorsement from Turning Point's Erica Kirk. And while he leads the 2028 field in this poll ahead of California Governor Gavin Newsom, 67% of respondents say they don't have anyone in mind yet. That's an open field. And more, we're seeing some elected officials just want out. More than 50 retirements are coming up for Congress.
A lot of these folks come from productive lives, business backgrounds, veterans, and they come to Washington and are really shocked when they can't get anything done. And that gets frustrating after a while. And they say, maybe I can do more for my community and my country back home out of public life.
And that may be the real wild card for 2026. Take away the power of incumbency, and some of these races could get much more competitive. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Big year for sure. All right, thank you, Doug. Meantime, this, a Climate Watch organization finds 2025 was one of the hottest years on record. Analysis by World Weather Attribution blamed the heat on climate change caused by human behavior, namely the burning of fossil fuels that send greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. 2025 was the first time that the 3-year temperature average broke through a threshold set in the 2015 Paris Climate Accord. The WWA had identified 157 extreme weather events in 2025 that each caused more than 100 deaths. Researchers say some of the heat waves last year were 10 times more likely than they would have been just a decade ago. And they warned events like wildfires and hurricanes will become more extreme, driven by climate change. All right, the Rose Parade may be over, but those amazing floats are still around. Floatfest is now in full swing. You can get up close and personal. Coco McAvoy is live in Pasadena now, where people are getting an up-close look at all of those beautiful creations. Good morning.
Hey there, if you haven't been to Floatfest yet, you might not realize that there's so much more to do outside of seeing the beautiful floats. You can hear the upbeat music in the background. There's great entertainment, amazing food as well. I'm here with Kate now, one of the amazing volunteers. Hello, tell us about the spread here.
Yes, we have so many fun, new and exciting things this year. We want you to come try. I can definitely walk you through them. So to start, some kettle corn and strawberry lemonade, special for the Tournament of Roses this year. We have some delicious teriyaki chicken and kimchi, sushi burrito, bison burger with fries, an amazing lobster roll for all of those who want to be taken back to New England for a couple days, a burger on a King's Hawaiian roll, some delicious fried Oreos, and then some cocktails and libations for those who would like to partake. So we would love for you guys to come and try everything.
Yes, everything smells so good too. And if you can talk about the entertainment that we're hearing at Floatfest too.
Yeah, we have so many amazing bands. We have 2 stages. Tomorrow's extra special. All of the bands are related or experienced the Pasadena fires. So we're really excited to support those bands and have the community come together for them. So, yeah.
Yes, and Kate, you've been volunteering for 3 years. You said you grew up here too. Tell us what you love about the Rose Parade and Floatfest.
Yeah, it's just a great way to start the new year. You know, the parade, between the parade, Floatfest, the Rose Bowl game, it's just great to get together with family and friends and just be together as a community, especially after the hard year everybody's had here. So thanks for being here. We're excited to be celebrating with the community.
Thank you so much, Kate, for talking to us. And really, the volunteers help make Floatfest so special as well every single year. And I agree with Kate. This is really a great way to bring in the new year. It's become a tradition for me as well to cover the Rose Parade and then come to Floatfest afterwards as well. So definitely a lot of beautiful floats to see, all of the flowers. You get to really smell the roses and some good food too. So let's take a look at your screen right now so you can see the ticket information if you would like to come. It started today at 9 o'clock this morning. It will run until 5 o'clock this afternoon. If you miss it today, you can always come tomorrow starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it will wrap up tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, it's one thing, Coco, to see it on TV or to see it from far away during the parade route, but then to see it up close like that and see how they put everything together is pretty amazing.
It is amazing. One of the floats specifically used coffee, and you can actually smell the coffee grounds too. And that's just like the little details that you, of course, miss on TV.
It'll wake you right up. All right, Coco, thank you. We all need it. Okay, so of course, after yesterday's Rose Parade came the Rose Bowl, and it was a good day to be a Hoosier, wasn't it? Woo! Indiana blew out Alabama yesterday in the game they call the granddaddy of them all. Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza threw for 3 touchdowns, leading the Hoosiers to a 38-3 win. Just blew them out of the water. It was Indiana's first win in a bowl game since 1991. It's about time. As the playoffs roll on, the undefeated Hoosiers now travel to Atlanta for the Peach Bowl, where they will face Oregon in one semifinal. The Ducks shut out Texas Tech 23-0 in the Orange Bowl. The other semifinal will be between Mississippi and Miami in the Fiesta Bowl out in Glendale, Arizona. Ole Miss upset Georgia 39-34 in a Sugar Bowl thriller last night. Tennis superstar Venus Williams has snagged a wild card entry to appear in this year's Australian Open at age 45. It will make Williams the oldest woman to ever appear in the main draw. Williams is a 7-time Grand Slam winner. She's appeared in the Australian Open 21 times, but has never won. She finished runner-up twice after facing off with her sister Serena. You might remember in the 2003 and 2017 finals.
Wow.
I remember that.
Wow.
Pretty great.
Pretty great. Well, Good Day LA Entertainment is sponsored by Disney on Ice, presents Let's Dance, playing the LA area. Okay, the biggest story of the end of 2025. Going into 2026, still talking about it, is the hit Netflix series Keeping Us Strange. Whether you watch it or not, you cannot escape the upside down. The S in Stranger Things should be changed to a dollar bill sign. The series was crowned Netflix's most watched series with 1.2 billion views. And not only did it hit the billion for views, according to Variety, it also contributed $1.4 billion to the U.S. economy. In just 25 days, Volume 1 of Season 5 had reached over 100 million views. Ooh. Stranger Things has created more than 8,000 production jobs here in the U.S. And let's go back, though, to even more reason why it's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of brands receive renewed interest thanks to the show, like Eggo, the famous waffles featured in it, Dungeons & Dragons, and Nabisco, which all showed growth after being featured in the series. And it earned movie theaters across the country over $25 million in revenue. And let's just face it, Jen, the movie theaters needed that.
They really need desperately. Yeah.
Speaking of the movie theaters, look who made a special appearance at one of the local screenings.
Hey everybody, say hi to the Duffer Brothers. Yeah, this was just impromptu. We just got pulled in here, so I had nothing planned, but it's so exciting to see you guys all here, and we hope you really like it.
Yeah, we're glad we came to the Americana and ran into y'all, so.
25-year-old LA resident Celia sharing this video of the Duffer Brothers at the AMC at the Americana. They surprised the crowd while they watched the finale.
Wow.
So speaking of that, Jen, I really want to break this down because this is going viral. These are the concession lines.
Ooh.
Because now you're thinking like, well, why do so many people want popcorn that are seeing Stranger Things?
Oh, it's the bucket?
No, it's how the tickets were sold for the finale. They were sold differently at a theater near you. They were sold as concession credits, not an actual ticket. So you spent $11 to $20 on a concession voucher. They weren't your normal everyday ticket. The Duffer Brothers actually pitched it to Netflix themselves, saying, let's have the finale air in theaters. And they were pleasantly surprised when Netflix went for it. It was sold as a special event experience without dealing with traditional box office revenue splits and letting the theaters benefit from it financially by making it a concession credit. So people bought $20 and they had $20 to spend to get a popcorn or a soda or a candy. So you have that many people in line to get concessions.
Ooh, I bet the concession workers were like...
Well, that's what people were saying online. They were saying, I hope that they stepped up for this. When I went to CinemaCon back last April, I had an executive give a speech there, and I had the privilege of hearing it. And he said, if you want movie theaters to get better, you have to lower the cost of the ticket and increase the cost of the concessions, because the concessions go directly to the theater versus the tickets that are split with box office revenue.
I went to the movies for the first time in a long time. This was like, last weekend? And I noticed that the previews...
Wait, what did you see?
I saw the SpongeBob movie.
With Ethan.
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way. But the previews, I had forgotten how long the previews are.
30
in
minutes.
The commercials.
Almost 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
A 4-year-old's wiggling around in his seat like, when am I going to see SpongeBob?
I know.
Make the previews shorter, too.
Make the previews shorter. Well, that's how they're getting money, though.
I know.
It's all about getting that paycheck.
Got to make it up. All right. Thank you. So coming up, a blow to Elon Musk this morning as his Tesla company is dethroned as the world's top-selling electric vehicle. What took its place? We'll have more on that when we come back.
10:45 right now. Take a look at the big board. AI driving up the optimism in the markets as the new year begins, up 99 points right now. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are also in the green, the positive territory. So what a way to start the new year. All right, a massive shift is rocking the global auto industry this morning as China's BYD has officially overtaken Tesla to become the world's top electric vehicle seller. Final year-end figures show a surge in BYD's pure battery electric sales, and data shows the Chinese automaker delivered over 2.26 million fully electric cars. Meanwhile, Tesla only delivered 1.64 million. Analysts say BYD's 28% increase was driven by its dominance in the Chinese market and aggressive global expansion, including lower priced cars as well. Tesla also faced a 9% drop in sales during 2025, in part due to aging model lineups and intensifying competition here in the United States. The effort to further regulate stock trading by congressional lawmakers has been talked about for a long time, but will 2026 be the year it finally happens? Fox News chief congressional correspondent Chad Pergram takes a look.
A bipartisan push to bar lawmakers from trading stocks.
The sooner we do this, the faster the American people can finally trust us on this.
GOP Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna is bullish on her plan to restrict lawmakers to a congressional portfolio and not one on Wall Street.
I really don't think people are going to vote against this bill. It'd be stupid.
The bill extends the ban in many cases to family members. But House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries asks why Republicans won't invest in the Democrats' trading ban bill, which reaches beyond Capitol Hill.
Why? Because it would also include prohibiting the president and the vice president of any party from engaging in stock trading while they're in office.
Congress requires lawmakers to publicly disclose their holdings.
I think that should be adequate, but there are still members that think that's inadequate.
Republicans point out that former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi traded tens of millions of dollars over a 3-year period, and her investments outperform both the S&P 500 and Warren Buffett. Pelosi says she complies with the law.
It's bananas. Did you see, like, here's Pelosi, here's Warren Buffett. You're like, okay, so if this person is doing that, no, we can't take advantage.
Congress overwhelmingly passed the Stock Act in 2012, curbing some stock trades for lawmakers.
Last week, the president said in his State of the Union address, "Send me a bill that bans inside trading by members of Congress, and I will sign it tomorrow."
Still, there's concern that lawmakers could use insider information about legislation to trade stocks and boost their returns. In Washington, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
All right, enjoy today with no rain, right, Star?
That's right. We are tracking some moisture picking up across our coast here. So down as far as Long Beach, moving into portions of Orange County, Oceanside through Murrieta, so across the 15, but also the 215 freeway. We do have some light precipitation coming down, even some drizzle for some of us. Now, LA, we're not completely ruled out of receiving some of the spotty showers through our afternoon hours. Got to throw that out there. We do have a 30% chance of precipitation popping up for us this Friday. Otherwise, as we push into the next 10 minutes or so, our temperatures in the 11 o'clock hour at about 62 degrees. This afternoon, we are expected to top out around our averages in the upper 60s. And as far as tomorrow goes, this is when the real event will start for us across the area. Getting us through here on our futurecast, we do have spotty showers passing through our afternoon and into our evening hours. As tomorrow morning approaches, we do have that moisture building in across areas west first before they do arrive here across the Los Angeles basin. Moving into the afternoon tomorrow is when we see that first wave of precipitation pass through, and we are talking the possibility of on and off again showers through at least until we at least arrive at Sunday. Sunday, we do have another wave of widespread to intense, maybe light to moderate precipitation passing through. Either way, we will have better conditions for the early half of today. Sandra.
All right, Star, thank you. More and more people are having a drink to help them get some shut-eye, but not an alcoholic beverage. Some sleep aids with natural supplements. So do they really work, though? Madison Scarpino takes a look.
Many Americans are ditching the alcohol and drinking a different kind of nightcap. The latest Gallup survey shows 54% of Americans say they drink alcohol. That's the lowest rate in 90 years.
I really noticed it with a lot of younger people. They are not interested in alcohol in the same ways that previous generations were.
Instead, many are turning to natural supplements for sleep. And sales of these supplements have reportedly hit approximately $1 billion in 2025.
From herbal products to melatonin, magnesium.
Sleep aid drinks are kind of the latest trend in supplements.
Data shows more than 20% of American adults drink beverages that claim to help with sleep, and experts attribute that in part to the popularity of sleep tracking devices. Many sleep aid brand leaders are saying their sales are surging in the last year.
Do you really think the desire for better sleep is going to go away? Probably not.
The company AG1 has a sleep aid drink of its own, and the company's chief executive director says she's noticed more people seeking natural alternatives.
When we wake up feeling refreshed for the first time, which we have heard from some of our customers in months or years, I can't imagine that being a fad or a trend or something that will fall out of fashion.
But experts say supplements like melatonin and magnesium don't work for everyone. One sleep expert says a lot of these over-the-counter supplements are no better than a placebo.
There are a few small studies that suggest some benefit, but the benefits usually aren't the big improvement in sleep that people are looking for.
Experts say to check with your doctor before starting any new supplements, especially if you're taking prescription medication. And what that professor really recommends for general sleep troubles are staying off your phone, drinking herbal tea, or reading a book before bed. In Atlanta, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
The TV channel that defined a generation is no longer. The song that closed out MTV's last video channels.
Welcome back. The wait is almost over after a nearly 4-year hiatus. K-pop superstars BTS making a comeback.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, BTS Army received handwritten letters from the group this week, teasing an official return and a new album on March 20th. Their last album was in 2022. Since then, members of the group fulfilled mandatory military service in South Korea.
They're going to be all grown up.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Gosh, brings back memories. It's the end of an era, though, at MTV. The network shutting down its last remaining 24-hour music channels around the world last night. Many of the channels signed off with Video Kill the Radio.
Hey! Sandra Endo at the pipes.
That's the same song that launched MTV back in 1981. And MTV is not completely shutting down, though, so don't get it twisted. They'll continue to focus on reality TV series, but just no more music videos.
I didn't know they even still played music videos, to be honest. I thought that was dead a long time ago.
And I like how they always had, like, the name of the artist and the title.
You know.